The first thing I do when creating a rubber stamp is start engraving the rubber pad. The rubber pad can take anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes to engrave. It just depends on how big the impression is going to be. But you line it up, start the engraving, and then once it's done, you can just pop those out. They come out of the rubber really easily. Now they're ready to be rinsed off. It's really important when doing rubber stamps to make sure to wash them properly. Any powder or residue left over from the engraving or burning will affect your stamp. So you want to clean it off very nicely. Just scrub it really well. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So if you do scrub it a little bit too much, you're not going to ruin the rubber. It'll just end up with a cleaner, probably better impression stamp. So I use a bent toothbrush. I just bent it with a lighter. But then once I wash them off, I'll give them a good rinse. And then now I'm ready to cut down the wooden blocks. When I cut down the wooden blocks, I just hold the rubber right up to the wooden block hole and run it right through the saw. I find this cuts down on waste and gives me the perfect size block for every stamp. I have seen people do it where they put the stamp on the block before cutting. I just find that to be slightly more wasteful, but it is personal preference. I'm sure if I did it that way every day, I would be much better at doing it that way and cut back on waste as well. But once they are both cut, you're going to want to start sanding down the sides. I use a small chainsaw file and I just run it along the edge of the wooden block. This helps take down any brills or leftover plastic or anything that might be on the edges of the stamp left over from the saw. You want to do this because, like I say, you want a good quality, professional looking stamp every time. This is going to be smooth, easy on the hand, and just overall a better product. But once all the burrs are off, it is time to trim the edge of the laser material, the rubber. You just trim off barely the slight edge of it. There is a slight burr from where the laser will burn the material, and it's very important to trim this off. If you leave it on, it will cause overstampage and have a slight border around the stamp, and I don't like that. Some people do like overstampage. They think it looks a little more vintage and will leave it on for a stamp to have a little bit more of an older look to it. But for these, I wanted a clean, professional look, so I trimmed off all the burrs to give them the best impression that I could. But once the trims are complete, it is time to peel off the protective paper and line the stamps up. These stamp blocks do have a slight angle to them, so I will check and make sure which side is up. There is an upside and a downside. I like this angle to be slightly back toward me when you make the stamp impression. So that is the orientation that I have chosen here. I just use my thumbs to press it down. I do make sure that it's on there very firm. I don't want it coming up after a few stamps. I do this to the second stamp as well. Just line it up and push it on. From here, our stamps are complete. They are ready to give the impression. So we just stamp our stamp in ink, give it a good press on the paper, and voila, we have our impression. And for the second one, we do the same thing, and we have our impression. Now we just take a little bit of a closer look and make sure that our impression looks just like the customer's artwork. In this case, it does. They look great. So we're going to call it. If you do have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below, and I will answer all your stamp questions. Have a good evening.